And I guess it's really interesting to hear about it being a games dedicated platform, because there is platforms out there that handle localization to different extents, but what were they not doing that we wanted ECI Flow to do as a games dedicated one?
Maybe I can take that first. So I think there's a number of things. ECI work in various different industries, and we see games localization as a very fascinating area that's quite different from all the other like localization areas that we also help with. The one big thing that make it different is its need for context. Because there's so much information that's packed into the game, and there's so much thought that goes into building characters, building the relationships between different characters, and all of that lore building. That's like people put a lot of thought into that in the original language. It would be such a shame if that is lost after we start translating. So if we do want to kind of present the same game after translation as we do in the original game, I think all of that information needs to be incorporated into the translation process. Unfortunately, I think that's not the standard of the industry today. And I think it's also I think up to us how to persist all of this information into the localization process so that people from different parts of the world can enjoy the same game as if the game was built in the original language. So that's kind of the first big goal of enhancing the localization process with additional in-game context. I think none of the other tools really focus on that as much. The second one, I think Xavier mentioned a bit in the beginning, which is collaboration between different parties. So devs, publishers, service providers, and linguists. It's quite rare that we have like 4 different parties that's kind of all having different perspectives that's working on the same project. So how do we kind of pivot their perspectives so that everyone's like focusing on the same thing? That is a bit of an abstract thought, but that's what we're trying to achieve with ECI Flow. Another big thing, again, Xavier mentioned is integration with dev cycles. Like we have one version for an event, we have another version for demo, maybe early access. Like, how do we keep up with all these different versions with localization? That's not necessarily a trivial task. And also, for example, if we have various versions for consoles, for PC, it's always a headache for devs to kind of extract things and then put back a different localization kit. So I don't think any other localization tools in the industry solves that nowadays. And then there's the little things like tags, consistency checks, glossary definition, also just facilitating familiarization. I think none of the generic tools for localization actually focus on this very niche thing that is games localization. So those are, sorry for the long train of thoughts, but those are, from my perspective, what is missing in the CAT tools nowadays for games localization.